Hey folks, ASTCG here, and welcome back to the Two Dons podcast.
Episode 2.
That's what we're going with, episode 2, the Two Dons podcast.
Yep, I like
you know
it.
what I mean? Someone commented that they enjoyed it, so that was
I
nice.
thought it was smart. I don't think it was smart, but
You didn't think it was smart? I think it was smart because it was my idea. Genius. I'm a genius. That's what I'm talking about. And I am back with
Joe McGee. Hi.
Joseph McGee, and I'm Key. You know me. Hi, how you doing? We've got some cool things. Oh, we also have Tom in the back. Wave, Tom.
Tom the Underbits. He's here.
Tom's not on camera, and he's too
He
professional
might be
to speak.
soon. He might be
We'll
soon.
see him at. He's a handsome young man as well. But yeah, cool. I enjoyed the first one. Some things have happened since the last one, and we've got some really cool topics to go over. So
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
yeah, should we get into
I'm ready
it?
to go. Yeah.
Happy days.
So-
Numero 1.
Numero 1. We're going to talk about regionals. We're going to talk about Treasure Cups, regionals. We're going to talk about everything we've done and what we've got coming up.
Yeah,
So should we just start with the elephant in the room?
the elephant. I'm not an elephant.
You're not an elephant, but congratulations on your top 8 finish
Thanks, Dad.
in No Heroes online regional, online Treasure Cup.
Yeah, online treasure cup. Yeah,
Was it the
Like,
No Heroes one?
yeah. No heroes. Yeah.
So 1,024 players, top 8, X1 with everybody's favourite deck, Sakazuki.
Sakaduki.
Yep.
Sakaduki, baby. Yeah, I came 8th, and I was absolutely bricking it because it took 24 hours for them to finalise the standings, and before it I was in 8th
Cheaters.
with because of the damned cheaters. But I was in 8th place before they finalised the standings, and then I was still in 8th place once they did them. So yeah, it was cool. Unfortunately, it's a treasure cup, so I didn't get a cereal.
No, you don't. You do get some cool stuff. What did you get?
I got a very, very tasty Yamato. Wow, look at this shiny Yamato. Look at this, all this editing. Got a very, very beautiful 7-cost Lin.
She's beautiful
She
in
is.
any form.
What a woman. And then I got a 10-cost Kaido as well, which is pretty cool.
My favourite Kaido, my favourite
Yeah,
card.
the big white
No
boy.
one believes it. No one thinks it's any good, but I'm like, it's a dark hole, bro.
No one does. And I got them, and I thought to myself, I'm going to sell the Kaido, and I'm going to sell the Lin, and I'm going to keep the Yamato. And then I sold the Yamato before I sold any of the other ones, and the Linden's gone, and I've still got the Kaido. So if anyone wants to spend the life savings on a single card,
Let's work a payment plan out. Let's do it.
let's work it out. No, but it's very happy. It's one of the weirdest tournament experiences I've ever had before because you know me, I'm a stress head, so I usually go into them like heavily prepped and ready. But I think I'd had a treasure cup the week before, and I got cheated in that one.
Yeah.
And that just put me I stressed out.
We talked about that.
We did talk about
Yeah.
that, but I bubbled out of that one. So my mindset was, okay, actually I can just chill for a few more weeks because I didn't have any more big tournaments coming up apart from some of the side events that we just did.
Yeah, because you got the ticket last minute.
Yeah,
of course.
A message went up in the Discord that said last minute tickets have gone up because some people had asked for refunds, and I managed to nab one, which gave me 0 prep time mentally for it. So every round I was just chill, didn't expect anything of it. I just thought, ooh, I'll get another Don. That would be cool. And then I just started winning. Yeah, and my only loss in the day was to Katakuri. And he played really well, but I absolutely unga bunga bricked. And he casinoed the heck out of me.
Yeah, it was all in his life.
It was good. But yeah, some good stuff.
You talked about the side events. What are the side events? Because I think a lot of people in different regions
Yeah.
don't get side events. I think the UK is lucky, fortunate even, that we have these cool little events run by organised play events. We've had 2 of them so far, where we essentially get regional
Yeah.
entry prizes.
Was it the Jozu Cup?
There's Jozu
And
and the
then-
Chopper Cup in the same day.
Yeah, and then this one was the Kid
Double Kid Cup.
Double
Yeah.
Kid Cup. So yeah, cool.
Which congratulations to Liverpool local, Callum.
Callum.
He came and he went XO with Green Uther
With
of
Green
all
Uther.
of the
And he
decks,
beat
you know
me.
what I mean? He did, of course.
He did beat
of course
me
he
as
beat
well.
you.
Yeah, smashed me.
So he took home another top 64 prize card because that's his second one now.
Yes, he got a Jozu.
A Kobe.
Kobe.
Yeah.
He's a weird guy. Not
Kobe or Callum?
Kobe. Both. Yeah, so some good stuff. If you don't know what the side events are, it's
6 rounds, 128 caps,
Yeah.
6 round events, just nice and kind of like stress free, but good practice, good practice for a regional or a treasure cup because the majority of people there Maybe not the majority. A lot of the people there will be taking it seriously and will be using it as a way to test for their upcoming events.
I hate them.
I enjoy them. I know you hate them because you always play against a weird ass deck that beats you.
Yeah, all of my practice, all of these many hours I put into stressing my life out and playing against meta 24/7, and then I go to any UK event with only UK heads in, and some fellas playing Yamato with a 3-cost I've never ever seen in my entire life.
Like what? Yellow, blue ace?
Yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, Sabo.
Yeah.
I played in the second one, and I'd played against 2 red, yellow Sabos. No offense to any red, yellow Sabos players, but what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, why?
They're doing it though.
But they did it, and they both beat me. So keep doing whatever you are doing. Do you know what I mean? Like, fair enough to you, pal. You ruined me day. And one of them was Adam.
Yeah.
He made my day a little bit because he's a sweet boy, a good time pal. Yeah.
That was a good day for me. I think I made a.
Yeah.
I think I was unfortunate that I didn't make X2 in the afternoon. XO in the afternoon.
You played Mario for that,
I
right?
went X1. I played Mario forever. Since the beginning of time, I've been playing Mario. Like it's my favorite deck. There's something about it that I just find. I think it's nice and straightforward, but I think it's got a high skill ceiling, especially when we put in Rebecca's.
Yeah.
Put Rebecca and Hina in, and you can just do wacky things and hold your board down with a blocker.
Yeah, I've been playing Mario a little bit myself. So.
Yeah, you played at locals, if I'm right.
I did. It was very consistent, and that is dangerous for a Sakazuka player to feel.
Yeah.
Not having to like have a little bit of a brain tingle every time I try and draw a card for turn and stuff was kind of tasty. Mm-hmm. And I went, ooh, I've milled a card. That's me sorted for the game. So that was quite enjoyable. Yeah. Whereas with Saka, I go, oh, I've milled a Moria. Sugar. Yeah. I'm goosed. So you just big panics all around.
There's definitely been a few testing games where you've hit double Moria off brand new. And I've gone, oh cool, that's nice. I'd like to see that.
Yeah. What are your what events have you got lined up?
What events have I got lined up? I've got this Saturday.
Yeah.
This Saturday I've got the organised play events Treasure Cup. So that'll be another 1,024 person event.
With me.
You're in it.
I'm
Doesn't
in
matter. Doesn't matter because you only ever win when I'm not there.
Yeah, that is true.
So that's my one that I need to do well in.
Yeah.
Because obviously yourself and Francesco both have top 8s now.
Yeah.
So I need to try and keep up.
I have a top 32 in Utrecht as well. Have you forgot about that?
No, I don't ever forget about that.
Didn't you forget about that? I don't think I'd ever let you forget about that.
Exactly.
So technically, I'm the best player in Liverpool right now.
Yeah, 32nd best player in Europe by that metric.
I'm like 160 something from Limitless. I think I'm 167th on Limitless.
That's pretty good.
And for some reason, I mean, I understand it was a difficult tournament for the European Championship. That gave me so many more points than my top 8, which is crazy. But I still don't have a serial, and every single pro US player has 8.
Yeah.
So I'm not a cheesy boy.
Well, we can talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
Because after the online Treasure Cup that we're both playing in, we both got the offline UK Treasure Cup at the UK Games Expo, which will be a lot of fun in sunny Birmingham. If you haven't been to Birmingham before, it's not very sunny.
I cannot wait for all of the EU players to travel over from their lovely sunny places and find a nice Premier Inn.
Last year it was really sunny. It was a really nice weekend. It was.
But they're coming to Birmingham.
In Birmingham, it was the Games Expo, the regional Adam topped.
Yeah.
It was a really nice day. Sun was cracking.
I wasn't there for that. I hadn't started yet.
You weren't, no. It was your birthday.
I was still a new egg. Oh yeah, it was. I know I was on a stag do. There you go. Yeah, it's all coming together.
We do stuff. No. We're like outside of.
We're not like
guys.
You. We're like cool, and like we have heard of women.
What?
Never met one.
Yeah. only read about them.
Only read about them. We've studied about them.
But you talked about something just there. You mentioned something about American players and how they have 108 serials each. Oh. How could that be? Why is that the case?
Because they have 40 regionals a month.
Yeah.
Every weekend there's a regional. Mm-hmm. Not every week, but at least like every 2 weeks. Yeah. Cross AI is like, I came top 16 and I don't think that's how he speaks, but
no, I don't think so he speaks.
in the I don't know, Atlanta regional, or it's always happening in Atlanta, innit?
There is,
CA, California.
There's always in
something.
California.
But they just have so
California.
much, right?
In Florida. So I'm going on holiday to Florida, and I reached out to some players from Florida, and I was like, I'm going to be there for 2 weeks. I want to come and play some locals and meet some people and just, have a bit of fun. Where can I play locals? And someone replied to me and he went, yeah, you can play any day. There are several shops in the Orlando area. There's a local every night. And I went, okay, cool. Thinking it was going to be like other regions in the UK. So I said, which is the most competitive? And he went, any weekday. And I went, would you elaborate on that further? And he went, there are several serial winners at each of these different local card shops. And I was like, wow.
That's nice.
Will I be at my depth? Will I not? I guess we'll have to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
my biggest accomplishment is that I've met someone who won a cereal.
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, as card games go, we often beat people that win serials.
No.
We just don't beat them when it counts.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but on the topic of it, I think it is crazy. But it's a classic band. I think it happened for Digimon as well. I played in that, and it's like the US gets an abundance of regionals and treasure cups, and EU gets a third of that.
Yeah, they do have more players, and
than the entirety of Europe.
They have a larger region as well,
But
so I
not
can
than
see
the
them
entirety of Europe is
needing
bigger
to
than the
have
US.
these multiple regionals at the same weekend, which obviously then the serious competitive players are like, well, we'll just get a plane, we'll just drive down. So,
and I get that, but I'm going to Milan in July.
yeah, and there isn't a UK
And there was
one
just a
at
French
the same
one.
time as Milan.
Yeah, so
We
the-
get one
the
in
next-
Europe. Yeah, I
the
see.
next
Yeah.
in-person
Yeah.
regional after Toulouse that just happened, which is in
Will
French.
be Milan. Yeah,
Well, we've got Birmingham, which is a treasure cup,
Yeah.
but that's in a month. Oh no, that's in
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, something like that.
So there you go. There's one.
Yeah, check us out. We'll be in
And then-
Birmingham. We'll be making some juicy content.
Yeah, but then the next one from after that is the end of July.
Yeah,
So 2 months before another in-person in Europe.
we have another online regional.
Online is fine, and I think that's fine, right? Because
But offline online's great. They're really cool.
offline
We talked about this
should
last
be
week.
what we're running, right?
But offline is special.
Yeah.
It's nice. You get to see friends. You get to see people you know. Those are the way you make the memories. You don't make memories like sitting at your desk playing with your webcam. You make
No.
memories when you go to an event. Yeah. So
we were talking about
we're talking about upcoming regionals. We're talking about because we love talking about controversies on this podcast. It would seem. I think that's just the One Piece TCG community is just many controversies all the time.
always.
So one of the big problems that's going on right now in Europe is, I don't know if you'll remember from last time, but EBO1 has been delayed. Shock horror, it's been delayed again.
Okay.
So it was initially planned for the 3rd of May, which it released in, Oceania, America and mainland Europe. It is now scheduled to release the 3rd of June in the UK, which is a
My
month
birthday.
delay. Maybe someone will get you a box.
Don't even know if I want a box of EBO1 at this point.
Maybe. I think I want a box.
Good job, you've.
It's
What?
like this.
Oh,
Yeah.
Here-
I mean,
here's one.
I'm pretty happy with this.
this is. I've got to pick it up like it's an antique.
It is in
The
this
only
place.
box of EBO1 in the United Kingdom,
Potentially, yeah.
and it's now mine. Yeah.
So,
Where did you get this, Joseph?
I got this from our fantastic man behind the desk, Mr. Tom Lee Underboots.
Which you can see that. I forgot about that. Where did Thomas get this from?
Tom went to Berlin to pick this up.
I had to go to Germany.
He went around every local card shop he could find, and eventually he found a single one and charged me 120 euros for the privilege of getting it.
Yeah. And I cannot wait for you to pull
Nothing.
nothing. Sadness.
A Laboon.
Ah.
I'll be happy with a Laboon.
Laboon would be cool, to be fair.
Really cool.
I just want me 4 T-bones.
I'm sure there'll be some T-bones in there for you, Chief, but it won't matter because the regionals and the treasure cups that we're about to play in, it's not legal.
No.
Because for some reason Bandai has spoken to No Heroes and organised play events, and they have said European events cannot use EBO1. It is not legal because the entire region needs to have access.
Which is
And what do you think about that?
It's just ridiculous, innit?
I think
As
so.
men from the UK,
Yeah, as the ones that are like affected
you know what I mean?
the most.
Yeah. Imagine in the US if one state didn't get EBO1 and then you went, by the way,
All of yous.
all of you US American peoples, you can't play.
Yeah.
There would be hellfire.
But what
so
are they?
why?
I'm with this set. I think we get away with it.
Yeah, I
There
think
are
if it was
some-
ever going to be big delays,
There are
EB's
some
the best
goofy
one.
decks that people want to play at locals.
Yeah.
We touched on them last time.
Kilos.
There's a few cool little tech cards for meta decks that obviously everybody knows about. We mentioned some of them last time. What are we going to do if this is OPO7? What are we going to do if there's a 3 to 4 week delay in the UK with OPO7?
If I don't get my Bonnie leader, I'm
And
actually
yet-
going to flip me.
And people can't play. We're stuck in a weird post-ban list pre-OPO7 format for all of Europe because of the UK delays. Could that really put a dampener on One Piece's growth? Could that damage the reputation of the game?
I don't think it'll do it the first time. I think it'll be okay. But if it comes consistent, which it has anyway, we've had small delays.
We've had
every
small
set.
week, not every set, but some
most.
of them. I think.
I no longer am on the edge, waiting for my boxes to come on the originally aligned days.
06, 02.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've had a few, and then we always get them for like. Sometimes there's delays for the prizing, and then there's delays for some of the special like mats and stuff that we get through. So we get used to it, but I do think it could become a problem in the future if it's not something that they look to fix. And I think it's difficult because of Brexit, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to talk about like.
I don't want to get into the political landscape.
No,
of it,
because I also
but
I don't
think
really
the
understand it that well.
yeah.
I don't.
But the
I
reality
don't know how
of it
shipping
is,
works, but I'm pretty sure there's only one big major change that's happened in Europe, and it's only us who have been affected. So you can draw,
Brexit?
you can connect the dots.
I'll say the dots.
And
It's
I
Brexit.
also think that it's Asmodee were really unfortunate in the timing of their distribution warehouse. They moved,
Yeah.
and I think the two have just like knocked onto one another, which why we've seen such a drastic delay.
Yeah, and as much as we say, like, it's not that big of a set because it is an extra booster, it's the first extra booster that we've had. There are cards in there that are critical for the future of every deck, really.
True. Yeah.
Like-
I mean, you know what the big shaker of the next format is
Bonk
Law, the red
Yeah,
purple law.
okay,
Red purple
law.
law is built by this.
On
So
play.
I do agree, but I more so think that this set and the delays have hurt the local scene.
Yeah,
You've got the Odin, the Hannibal, and the Kiros, which I think people want to play.
the stagnation, isn't it? It's like we're in the same meta. And someone raised a good question the other day, which is, if we get delayed again, what are we going to do for the Sakazuki? Are we going to stay in this half weird merge of still OPO6, no EB, but Saka's banned because we said that and the thing? And then we have this like weird OPO6 hybrid.
Yeah, an OPO 6.5 format kind of thing.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. I
No.
just have to see how everything unfolds, and hopefully this isn't going to be a regular occurrence.
Yeah. I hope not.
Just to seem
I just
too
have no,
positive
I don't
about
have
it.
hope.
No.
I do hope not, but I think I played Digimon as well, and that was just delays.
It's still
galore.
happening with Digimon and Dragon Ball.
Just
All
Bandai,
it's
just Bandai being Bandai in it. Yeah.
Perhaps.
Now, a question that we do get a lot, and we see a lot in the Discords, is how do you sign up to these regionals, to these treasure cups, to all of these fancy smancy tournaments? Discord for online ones.
Yeah, so you need to be, kind of on Discord.
Yeah.
You need to have the app, have an account,
Notifications
be
turned
part
on.
of the channels.
Yeah, be
So
part
what
of the
are
channels.
some of the important channels that you need to be following?
ACCG
At the top.
at the
At
top.
the top. That's where you get your spoilers.
ACCG, I would say.
That's where you get your intense
then-
discussion.
I don't know. Probably just wouldn't. Anyone else? No, I think there's quite a few, isn't there? Like
I
COD,
mean, what are the big ones? We've got like
Eggman.
OPE,
Oh,
organized
you mean
play
for
events.
the Discord.
Yeah, for the
I
Discord.
thought you meant YouTube.
No, I meant the Discord channels that you should be subscribed to, so
Yes.
you can see when these tournaments and the tickets or the raffles
OPE,
go
No
live.
Heroes, Raid and Trade.
Yeah, they're the big ones in
They're the
Europe,
big
right?
ones for EU. If you are based in the US,
Oh God, what do you have? You have Carta Magica,
yeah,
the
another one.
PPG.
yeah,
Doesn't matter.
no, but yeah. So sign up to those, but word of mouth is the biggest thing as well at the same
But
time.
the One Piece website, the One Piece card game website is a great way to see what's up and coming, because that way that'll get you excited. You can see the prizes, you can see the entry promos, you can see how it all breaks down.
Yeah.
And that'll be your first point of call to see what events are coming. And then the registration links will be added there, and that's where you're going to be fed to the different websites to buy tickets.
Yeah. So get signing up and playing some, even if you're new, and cack out the game.
Especially if
like
you're
Joe.
new. Especially if you're new, because that's how you're going to get yourself involved and get yourself better.
And make friends or enemies. Like me. Anywho.
So there's one more thing that I want to talk about while we're talking about organised play events. While we're talking about regionals and treasure cups.
Oh, of course.
We've just talked about getting signs up. But sometimes you can't. Sometimes the tickets sell too quickly. Sometimes you don't get a spot in the raffle. Sometimes you enter your Discord name incorrectly for 6 months straight and you don't get chosen for any of the raffles, and you wonder, what are you doing with your life? And then you go, oh.
I couldn't imagine a single person ever doing that, being that idiotic.
Well, you sat with one.
I am sat with one. Yeah.
America have had confirmation that they are getting store treasure cups and store regionals.
Yeah.
So that's the Bandai, what are they called? What's the word? I'm looking
Flagships.
for? The flagships that they have in Japan, it looks like they're kind of coming over to the West. And I think that's really cool. I think
it's a big missed opportunity that these haven't been implemented already, to be honest.
I mean, we did have the store championship events last year.
But not to the...
They weren't as
just not enough.
big. Yeah.
Like, I've been getting on Twitter a lot more, because a lot of One Piece community is always on there, right? And it's nice to be able to see people from different regions. And a lot of the Eastern? That's where Asia is.
Yeah,
right?
that's the Eastern. Yeah, the
There you
Eastern
go.
region. Yeah,
A lot of
we
Asian
don't really have a
creators.
name for it, like the OCG. I hear
Yeah.
people call it, because that's the Yu-Gi-Oh like nomenclature.
Yeah.
So yeah, the
anyway.
Eastern regions.
Yeah. Anyway, they all have the flagships.
Flagships seem great.
There's one happening
There's many happening
every
every
week.
weekend. Yeah.
every single weekend. There's a flagship. I watched someone who had, and the reward for these flagships as well, if you get a top in it, is the card that you would get for top 64 at a regional event, which in the future will be Cavendish that we're seeing. And then also we're seeing Reiju as the top 32 or top 16 prizing for that as well. And I saw a picture of someone who was like, they call themselves the flagship farmer, because he had 60 Cavendishes, because he goes to one every single weekend, goes to two every single weekend, gets a top in them, goes, happy days, thanks for playing, and I guess it chills. So flagships effectively just become as locals, because he's going to them all of the time. And that's also the difference in pricing. The Yamato that I just picked up, the Japanese version of that is €60 on Card Market, because they get access to those every single weekend. Whereas over here, you can only get one for top 64 and on the Treasure Cup, which is crazy.
Is that something you want?
Yeah.
You do?
I think so.
You'd rather have more access to these nice cards.
Yeah.
And they still have a slight premium. €60, £60 is obviously,
I like money as much as anyone else, but also I like access to really fancy cards.
Yep.
You know? And like all they need to do is just make exalted cards for these store championships, is what I would say.
I do think that is the plan. I
Yeah.
think for the store treasure cups and the store regionals that they are doing in America.
Yeah.
I think one of them might be coming to the EU, but the messaging was pretty blurry, so we'll find out in time.
And that's my biggest annoyance, is that we go, America's getting this, maybe you, and I feel like it's that for everything.
Yeah.
Like, and it is annoying me, because it's like, feel like I don't know. Have you ever seen that SpongeBob meme where they're looking down through the grate and there's people like dancing around? No. Anywho.
I haven't. No.
He's
Everybody
old.
else probably has, but I
He's an
haven't.
old man.
Yeah.
But basically, we are watching from a distance as other people are like, yay!
Yeah, we are. I mean, we are.
My
with
12th
regionals,
cereal.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've had one tournament this year.
And it just keeps kind of feeding back into this, doesn't it? Where we kind of feel like the middle child.
Mm-hmm.
If the East is the really high flying older child who gets everything first, and then the EU is the left behind middle child, while the US is the baby,
the baby that could never do anything
never do
wrong.
anything wrong, even though they have all these problems all the times, all these players and tournaments that fall apart.
I love you, US. Please. Anyway, next topic.
I think I've talked about the upcoming tournaments and the things that we are hoping for the future of the organised play scene. I'm ready to move on. What's the next thing we've got?
Colour identity.
So this is something that we've seen people talk about a lot, right? Especially like people who want to get in, people who are building their first deck.
Yep.
And they're like, okay, what do these decks do?
Mm-hmm.
What does green do? What does blue do? And I think we should just kind of give a little rundown to what we think the colour identities are.
Okay, you
And
start with the
maybe-
colour and then we'll take turns.
Yeah, that's cool. So, I get to pick one.
You get to pick a colour.
So I'm going to go with red.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I didn't expect that, but go
Well,
on.
I think red is the forgotten colour at the moment because red was so dominant in the early sets of One Piece.
It was a stinker.
It was a real stinker. But now people don't even know about it. There's new players who are like, wow, what's a Zorro? So I think red is about removal, power-based removal,
Yeah.
and aggression. It's about small guys hitting the board early, swinging in, using
Unga bunga.
rush, giving rush. Red was the first colour to have an unblockable effect, I believe.
Cute.
I think it got it in the starter decks. It got the Rush Luffy and the Diablo Jambe.
Yes,
And I
sir.
think that kind of sets up what this colour is going to do. This colour is just going to go at you fast, and it's going to end the game as quickly as possible. And if you can get control of the board, you can get control of the tempo, red might start to struggle.
Yeah.
You got any thoughts about red?
Struggles in a control format.
Yeah, it does, and that's why.
Struggles
Like right now, it's
in a
like,
control
oh,
format.
where's red?
Whitebeard sometimes getting us up and go, oh my god, Whitebeard, that's cool. Which is, again, I said this in the last one, I can't believe, I look at a Whitebeard list and I go, damn, this is spicy.
Yeah.
For getting a top 16 in an event. Whereas 3 formats ago, I was like, if I see another red deck top, I'm actually just going to...
I see another top 32
Shy.
list and it's all just Zorro, Whitebeard, Law, and you're just like, cool.
But yeah, I agree with everything you said. I think the rush element is big. I think we're starting to see a little bit more with another colour. I'll go into it. I'll go yellow.
Oh yeah, everyone's favourite
into it.
colour.
Everyone's favourite.
And apparently,
colour.
if you believe the rumours, the designer of the game's favourite colour.
Yeah, I hate him. Yellow sucks. It's horrible.
It's interesting.
Yeah,
That's
that's my colour. That's it. That's all. No. So yellow, healing. That's what you think immediately for me. It's healing. Now it's becoming rush. You have the ace that's come out, the new ace that's come out. Something else has the NL has rush as well.
The
And
silly forecast category has
silly
conditional rush.
forecast category with rush. So it should become an Unga Bunga rush, which is nice. And then the other side of the fact of that, so we've got healing, we've got rush, and the biggest one, what is yellow? Triggers.
Yeah, and I think that's what everyone really gets like tilted by.
Yeah,
That's what
you
everyone
could say
really
they get triggered.
Oh yeah, clever, smart, funny, just like you.
And attractive? Maybe not.
Yeah, I don't
But
think beige is very attractive.
beige is very attractive. And speaking of the word triggered, that's what you're going to get. So that's me, that's yellow.
Yeah.
Unga Bunga, everyone hates it. It's been described as casino.
Yeah, I mean, especially the most dominant of the
Yeah.
yellow decks, the category, does feel like a casino.
Big look. Thoughts on yellow? Sucks balls.
I want to disagree with you, but you're right. Like, I think it does too much. Because you haven't even touched on the other thing.
I don't want to
Removal.
talk. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that.
Why does yellow get removal? Why does yellow get, like, really good stats?
I didn't mention that because it makes me very sad.
It's
Gadatsu makes me so upset.
T-Bolt.
I don't want to talk
Thunderbolt
about
is
that
just
either.
nuts.
We just had a band card. It lasted one set.
Yeah, it lasted
Really
like
XCOM.
half a set, yeah.
That was insane, wasn't it?
And I just think my issue with yellow is it often, especially Katakuri, which, as I said, is the most dominant yellow deck, it doesn't feel like there's a correct way to play.
No.
Sometimes you're like, I'm going to control this game, and then they just go, haha, 10 mum, 10 mum, 10 mum. And other times you go, well, I have to go fast. I lost last time because Jamil triple 10 dropped me.
I know him.
So I have to go fast, and they go, oh, Satori trigger, Kiku trigger, Sanji trigger, and you're like, every single life. And obviously there are decks that can deal with that. I think Mario's great at dealing with that. I think Sakazuki can deal with that pretty well if they don't just start hitting you fast.
Have you played against OP07 and Elliot?
I have, and I don't enjoy it.
My brain just melts out my ear. I go, I'll play my 9-cost Zoro, and they got a new 6-cost event that says,
Kill it.
your mama.
Yeah.
And it just KOs it immediately, and I go, nice. That's nice.
I think the phrase is, it's pretty, you're done.
Just gross, bro.
Yeah.
Next colour, your
Next
choice.
colour. I don't know, I'm going to leave a colour for you because I know you're excited about the colour. So I'm going to talk about blue.
That's
I
my
like
favourite
blue.
colour.
It's not your favourite colour at the moment though, is it?
It's not going to be.
No, and I like blue.
I
I don't know why I like blue, because I think blue has one of the weirdest colour
It's
identities.
just in the bin at the moment.
Yeah. So like, I think
Since
the...
OPO 1. Since OPO 1. I played as the only blue croc player for a while in the world. And I was like, woo! I'm in stuff! And then that was it. Blue Dofi, that's it, isn't it? That's your colour identity. Doflamingo leader.
Yeah, I think so. I think they've tried with the Boa Hancock leader, but it just hasn't come together yet.
6-cost bow is nice.
Yeah, well, 6-cost bow is great. Like, there are great blue cards.
Lost its identity.
Mihawk is an amazing card. Mihawk will probably be an amazing card for a long time. But what does blue do? Blue removes things
Yeah.
in a poor way.
Tempo.
Bottom
Right?
decking is great,
Yeah.
but adding back to hand can sometimes feel a bit weak.
Yeah.
Stacking the deck is what blue does very well.
It's
I
like
think that's
pseudo
probably
drawing.
pseudo drawing. It's setting up your draws, isn't
Mhm.
it? And then I think cheating things out a little bit.
Cheating things out a bit.
Think
A
about
little bit. It's
Sensu
got probably the most
Maru.
draw in the game. Blue.
What about yellow? Yellow has the most draw.
Why?
Yellow has all the stupid triggers.
That doesn't count. It doesn't say draw the card.
It does. It's just draw 2 and then pitch 1.
There is that.
But no, yeah. Blue
draw.
has like Fancy's Peel Off, which draws. Blue has the new Mr. One, which draws.
I do agree though. I do think it's losing its identity because, like, you look at the new Boa that came out.
Mhm.
That's a green card.
Yeah.
That's not
What
a
does
blue
it
card.
do? Like remove a
Stuns.
small thing and then stun something else?
That's
Yeah.
not a blue card.
Yeah,
effect.
and I think black has come in and been like, well, black is the premium removal color.
Yeah.
We'll talk about black probably in a minute, but I think black has pushed blue out of its sort of position.
Yep.
And then blue, I think they've muddied the waters
Mm.
because they've introduced an entirely new archetype for blue, which is the Nami Mill, the
Yeah.
self-mill deck, which like I know a lot of people don't like, but just get better. It's a bad deck. It's terrible. Like if you lose to Nami, you just
All the pitchforks are going to come up for you.
they can come for me and I'll just swing 5 every time. Like,
And they go, ah!
what do I do?
I've run out of cards.
I've counted to 11. Yeah, cool. I'm going to swing 5 again.
Yeah.
So I think introducing Nami, which I think is cool,
Mm.
like giving colours very different archetypes, I'm a fan of. But I think at this stage of the game, because we're still only like, what, 6 sets in, 7 sets in?
Yeah.
It has muddied the water of,
Yeah.
of where the colour is.
My go.
Is your go? Yeah. What
Green.
Do you think now? That was. I was going to give you
Oh.
green. Yeah, because green is such a cool color. But
And I was going to start on green because this is my favourite colour right now. Thank you, Bonnie. Can't wait to have you in my arms. The card.
yeah,
I'm going to prison.
yeah. You are.
Um,
I think Oda's going to prison and the
Oda's going
animators and
to
the
prison.
editors. I think a lot of people are going.
Oda,
I was
love you,
watching
but
Shabondi the other night, and I'm like, why? What's
what's
going
going on here? Green. I was going to start with green, but yellow talked about rush,
Yeah.
so it landed into it.
Okay,
But
yeah.
green is sensational.
Mm-hmm.
My favourite. It's control in resting things so that you can attack them,
Mm-hmm. Like Perona.
like Perona, or you can remove them if it's small.
Mm-hmm.
With the Ryumas that came out, some of these new cards that say like KO a 5 cost if it's rested, KO a 6 cost
new.
if
I mean,
it's
X-Drake
rested.
is from the first set.
Yeah.
You know, I think that.
I mean, I
I
don't know,
think
but
green came out the gate with the most established color identity.
yeah, I think so.
Control
and
the
then
board.
we have stunning.
Yeah, the new that
The
came.
new- it's becoming more.
full kind of.
Yeah,
Sort
we
of,
got 10 cost Flamingo that allows you to stun 3 cards on
Mhm.
play, which is just insane. I think
Yeah.
still to this day one of the most insane 10 costs in the game. And then we also have cheating things out. We have the 8 cost kid as well.
Yeah.
So forcing your opponent to attack a much higher.
I think that
character.
just feeds into that controlling the board. Like,
Yeah.
it's like you have to funnel your way into this. I could use blockers.
Mhm.
Green has probably my favorite suite of defensive counter events.
Yeah, me
You
too.
think about like Punk Gibson,
Gibby.
what's the one in OPO4? Spiderweb, something like that. It's
yeah.
like the reverse of Punk Gibson.
Stand
Instead
the
of
card.
tapping you, I'm going to restand my guy. So I think
Yeah.
like when you have a big card like an 8-cost kid, and then you have these really powerful counter events to back it up, it's like, how do people get through it?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's one of the things that like Green Uta
Yeah.
really finds success with
Of
in
course,
this format.
film as well. They have
Yeah.
all of that, cheating things out in the film side. But yeah, I agree. I think it has a very strong core identity in knowing what it does. The new Bonnie being able to just rest things every turn is just chef's kiss. I've been practicing that non-stop. I think it's always lacked a little bit of aggression, but we've got some new cards recently in the form of like Hody Jones.
Yeah, Hody Jones is
Which-
crazy for green.
Just allows you to have rush, self-damage in case your opponent starves you out, which happens a lot when you're playing green, believe me. And also rest some blockers because you can struggle to remove them sometimes, especially if they can't be KO'd effects. And then we also got the 9-cost Zoro that came out, which is similar to the 8-cost.
That's a
Odin.
sleeper. That's a sleeper hit card.
Yeah.
There will be a format soon where that 9-cost Zoro is just
Just great.
destructive.
Yeah, just fantastic. So yeah, good. I do think it can struggle a little bit because it can struggle to deal with some of these bigger cards. Again, it's very reliant on resting your opponent's things and being able to swing into them. But 8-cost Moria is a 9k base, you know? So even if it's rested, it can be difficult. But that's where you have to rely on stunning cards with the like new 5-cost character Bonnie that came out, being able to use the Bonnie leader just to rest something else. There are ways around it, and I do think it's going to become more prevalent. I'm happy to see green in the meta a little bit more.
I am, because I don't think green's been in the meta since set
Kinemon.
1.
Kinemon?
Kinemon was a flash in the pan.
But
We quickly worked out Whitebeard was better.
So, but yeah, nothing since Kinemon really, is it?
Yeah.
What else has there been? I can't even think of it. Dofi.
Green, purple, Dofi.
But I don't
That was
class
more of
that
a
as green.
purple deck. It was more of
That's
a
not
film
a green card.
deck.
For me, that's a purple deck with green events.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, because I don't think they even played the 10 drop, did they?
no. So now
Maybe
we're
some people
seeing
did.
a sensationally strong green deck. Colour.
I'll go purple. Leave you with black.
Thanks.
So purple, I don't think it's purple's easy to talk about.
Yeah.
Purple's the ramp colour.
Yeah.
Purple is, I'm going to use cards and I'm going to get more done so that the turn after I can hit bigger cards than you can quicker and I can bully you out of the game. The only problem I have with purple, which I think they've designed out of, we talked about this last time, with the purple Luffy and the Hannibal, is historically you had to play bad cards in purple to do that ramping.
Yeah.
You had to play cards like, what was that? I hated it.
Onigashima.
No, I like Onigashima. In red, purple Luffy, it was like
Basil Hawk, isn't
yeah, I
it?
hated that card, and everyone was playing it, and it's like a 4 for 2. It's like a 4-cost 2k that ramps you down, and people are like, oh, I'll play this, and I go, all right.
Yeah.
Get it, like,
Flick.
be gone. Like, you've just wasted an entire turn. It just didn't really get you anywhere.
Yeah. But,
Like, I know
but
that
for me,
Zoro
when I think of
is a bit better.
yeah,
Zoro Juro,
yeah.
it just like swings and ramps.
The only word that comes to my mind when I think of purple is tempo. Honestly,
Is that because of the ramp?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like you just outvaluing your opponent, like you said about playing things out. I just think of purple Luffy and the romance I had with it of being able to just go 4-cost into next turn into Paulie gives me 8 done, haha.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like yeah.
And you touched on Paulie there, so I think purple has a really strong removal suite. I think that's always been one of the things that they were like ramp and removal out the gate. Because like that 10-cost Kaido that you won has been one of my favourite cards for a very long time because it says blow the board.
What's something that you think is bad about purple?
I think you have to play a lot of high-end cards.
Yeah.
I know high-end cards usually don't have counter. So in early to mid-game, you can find yourself in a decision point where you're either deciding to take damage early or throw away your connective cards. So the cards that will get you through the early and mid-game,
Yeah.
or the defensive cards that you need to use to not die really quickly.
Yeah, I agree. I think I would say drawing.
Yeah, sometimes you just fall apart.
Because you have Queen, which is a fantastic card, great card, but that's all you have. That's it, isn't it? Like I can't think of any more draw cards.
Yeah, don't make me rack my brain now.
No,
'cause
but
I'll get
If
stuck.
there is,
Get
there's
stuck
not
and
enough. Yeah.
I'll be like
Just
a
never recover.
spinning dial-up modem for the next half an hour.
But
There must be some, but I don't think they're very good.
No, but and I say draw because like other decks don't have a lot of draw power, but they have a lot of ways that they can counter out of things
Or just gain value
remove
in
things
general.
to gain value, so they're not getting as much attack. Sometimes with purple, you're not gaining
Plopping
major.
a card down, losing a card, gaining a Don. They'll remove the card because, as I said, like the Hawkins, it's got 2k power.
And then attack you for 5/5/5,
Yeah.
and you go, boss, I've got an 8-card hand and 7 of them have no counter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I can't get to 8 Don or 9 Don to play this Rush Kaido.
I played a
And
Magellan
when I
before.
do play these big bodies,
Yeah.
a lot of them, to get the value out of them, require me to minus Don again. So I have to be really careful when I play those big bodies that the following turn, I'm not sat here like, oh, I've got 4 Don.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. No, I agree. On to me, final colour.
yeah, the final colour, yeah.
Black. Everyone's favourite colour at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it is probably one of my favourite colours since
Yeah.
its inception. Yeah, I'm a big fan of it. It's a control style that I enjoy.
I love to hate it.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people do.
I think I would love black right now if Moria wasn't a thing.
The character,
Yeah.
yeah, 100%. I think it's
broken.
too good.
When I think of black, it's removal. It's removal. The identity of black used to be removal with a trash.
Yeah.
Right? It used to be on play.
With a cost, yeah.
Discard a card from your hand. KO. And you go, ooh, that's nice. Because then you'd have a little bit of cost reduction. So that's what it's about. It's removal about how much cost the actual cards that you're trying to remove have. So you'd play a card like Ice Age, which reduces. And then you'd go, here's a Sakazuki 6 cost. And you'd go, nice, I've removed a big body. I've got a really tasty body here. And
7K body?
Yeah,
Yeah.
some nice value. I think of the Lucha Leader, one that was, when he was doing his thing, a little bit of aggression coming there. And then a big shadow comes across. You get the Moria.
I do, but I also think Moria is a big problem in black.
Yeah.
But I think, we've discussed this before, I think the beginning of the problem was Lucci. The 4-cost Lucci from OP05.
Yeah.
When they said shuffling back is now a cost. And people
That's
went,
not a cost.
it's not a cost because my search and mills. My search and mills, one piece inherently fills the grave through the counter mechanic.
Yeah.
Which I think other card games don't do.
And then we have the other problem
Dragon
of
Ball does.
Rebecca.
Yeah. And that relationship where
It
it
just
all
goes-
sort of fits together with the... I mean, that was what made Sakazuki and OPO5 so incredible, was the Rebecca Luchi Hina combo.
Yeah.
You just do it in any order you want. As long as you see a Rebecca and you have
You're fine.
either piece in the bin
You're fine.
or both in your hand and you can have
It
2k
was,
back.
it was that, isn't it? Because it used to be removal with a heavy cost.
And you used
and
to
now
just have to think about it. And you used to have to say, like, I'm going to use this Kobe to remove that high value 3 cost. And then I need to take 2 damage to refill my hand.
And if I trash this card now, that might hurt me later. Whereas now it became, I'm going to play 1 card and I'm going to get a blocker, removal, and a 2k to my hand.
Yeah.
Also, I've just played...
Or a blocker reduction and removal.
Yeah. So you just go, oh, okay, cool. And what's even harder for it is in OPO7, it becomes, I play this 1 card. Now I get a blocker, I get a searcher. The blocker's going to grab me the new, can't remember its name, Shiraya or something like that. It's the one from Lucci's gaff. Anyway, its effect allows you to play another 4 cost. So for playing 1 character, you get to play 4 additional characters.
Spandine.
There you go.
Yeah. From EBO1.
And reduce. And potentially KO. Because you
There's
play
something there.
the Lucci out from the thing and you KO. So you go, alright, so I'll play 1 8 cost. I get a blocker, a searcher, another card that allows me to play another card, and a KO'er. And I get...
That sounds exciting, guys.
Isn't that cool? Yeah. That's the difficulty. It's very overwhelming right now, the value that you get
I think the value
from
has
the Moria.
kind of gone out the loop, yeah.
I think it is in kind of a wazoo stage right now that it might get to the spot. Like, obviously, Sakazuki is just being hit, but...
Well, you talk about hits. The next topic that's on, our doc here is balancing and bans.
Yeah.
And should we just start with what you were just saying? Is Gecko Moria long for this game?
I think it needs to go to 1.
Right, so that's interesting because we've talked about this a lot. I don't really want to outright ban cards. I think it might require a bit from Bandai in the R&D department, but I want to see powerful cards get restricted to 1 copy to 2 copies. Obviously for balancing of the game, but more so for the creativity of deck lists.
I agree.
If you look at deck lists now, every good card is played at 4, because why not? So when you're building a deck, and when you're building a deck for a tournament, for like an upcoming meta, most decks, you have 3 to 4 slots of flex, where you can show your personality in deck building. You can find a little bit of spice to maybe just push your strategy ahead of other people. And if you couldn't play 4 playsets, like a playset of every good card in your deck, there would be more flex slots, more room for creativity, and maybe some people would have like a really big edge at a certain tournament because they've read the meta, they've made a meta call. And that's kind of what I want from card games. Instead of just like you sit down against a Sakazuki and you go, I know 48 cards in your deck straight away.
Yeah. And but you talk about deck building. Not only does it limit your deck because you're forced to play all of these good cards. A prime example right now is because everyone's playing Akos Moria and all of these black to Sakaduki, I can't not call it that. Moria, black yellow Luffy's running a play set now. Like I can't play blue.
Wasn't Perona?
Perona.
They give you a black, you're playing. If you have access to the color black
play
of your leader,
Moria.
you play for Moria, yeah.
But I can't play blue because blue's best removal and its form of tempo is like a Mihawk.
Yeah, because you
7
don't.
cost.
Red Rock's a crazy card, but
It's just
it's
tempo loss.
spinning your wheels.
Yeah, you're just like stuck in the mud.
Because they have 4, you'll Red Rock, slow your turn down, remove the Moria, and they'll go, cool, there's another one.
Yeah.
And I get the value off it. The value is like what,
just insane.
triples.
But like it just forces colours out like
Yeah.
hugely, and it's. I think like Moria definitely needs to get hit. It's becoming so toxic. Like I spend a lot of time researching what all of these pro players again in Asia are saying, and like the Lucci just becomes like who draws more Morias.
Which is, I think, how black mirrors work in currently.
But it just becomes.
It's how Sakazuki mirrors work. It's
so
how
much
the
worse.
majority of Moria mirrors
Right
work.
now we're in a situation where if I see 1 Moria and you see 2, I might still get through.
Yeah.
Next set becomes if I saw 1 Moria and you saw 2, I cannot win.
Just because I generate so much more advantage.
I cannot win.
Yeah. This is in the new OP07 Lucci deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just becomes that where you just go, happy days. And like, that's what I worry about. And I think that's why they need to be a little bit more on top of these things because it can make formats very, very stale if we're not on top.
And I think you're right when you say being on top of things because I think it's not as simple as just saying, right, we've identified Moria as a problem. We're going to deal with Moria. I think you then have to look at the ramifications. Because 2 formats ago, maybe 1 format ago, maybe 2, everyone was saying 10 cost Big Mom needs to be banned. 10 cost Big Mom needs to go to 1. And I'm sat here and I'm thinking maybe it does. But if you remove 10 cost Big Mom from the pool, you better answer 10 cost Dofi.
Yeah.
Because if you back-to-back 10 cost Dofi, that's almost more powerful than back-to-back 10 cost Big Mom.
Yeah.
Because you can try and get back into the game when you've been double 10 cost Big Mom'd, but you cannot get back into the game when you've been double 10 cost Dofi. And I think like...
Please don't ban 10 cost Dofi.
No, I don't want to see it banned. I want to see...
I know.
That's the type of card I want to see get putted to.
Yeah.
Because then that takes the odds of either you're not going to draw multiples without playing a Doflamingo deck, so you're going to have to be playing the baby 5s. So you have to specialize your decks to get these big bomb monsters out. Monsters, that's a different card game. These bomb characters, you're not just going to slide 4 Doflamingos into Perona and see them. I played against a Yamato at the side event.
Yeah.
And I swung, he had 4 cards in his hand and I swung into his rested kid for 11k and he used all 4 cards to counter. And I had like 3 life, so I was pretty comfortable. And I went to myself, cool, I probably won this game now. He ripped a 10 cost Dofi. And for a couple of seconds, I was like, am I going to lose now? Like, am I just going to lose because he ripped that? Like, because he has 4 in his deck, the odds are obviously higher that he can just get into that situation.
Yeah.
If he only had 2, he probably wouldn't have seen it. And I wouldn't have had that unfair pressure applied to me.
Yeah, like I said, I know we talked about Mori a lot, but it is exactly that. Like playing Sakazuki because you draw more than anyone else, because you're drawing 2 effectively a turn because you draw 1 for turn and then
exactly.
draw.
Yeah.
Like the chances of those like seeing one of the 4 is a lot higher. So it just becomes that, or that's the part of TCGs I don't like, is the luck aspect.
And I think, like, devil's advocate to my own point is that can also be a problem with putting a card to 1.
Yeah.
Because then it turns into, like, if we use Moria for example, games can turn into, you saw your Moria, I didn't see my Moria.
Yeah, I think with the Moria and it only being a one-off, I think it becomes less than that. Because I don't think we're in a stage right now where it's like, oh, you saw 1 copy of a card. So that's what I mean.
True. I don't think there's anything in One Piece that really wins the game as soon as it hits the board.
Yeah.
Maybe the Zoro. Maybe the Green Zoro.
Green Zoro.
If Green
Zoro, you can't remove
if
it.
Green Zoro can stick, I do think it can just do bits. Is there any other ways that card games balance themselves other than just banning? There's one I'm thinking of from another game, which I don't know if you're interested in from One Piece, but there's the set rotation.
Yeah, like Magic.
Like Magic, like Pokemon. And I think set rotation can bring with it, this is like a different conversation, but set rotation brings with it reprints.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to bring cards back into new formats, you need to print them into boxes. I think that would make new players pretty happy too.
Yeah, I think the side effects of it, though, at the same time, I think is you make new players happy because it's all new and shiny, but you make older players upset by splitting formats. I've just stopped playing Carve Vanguard, and they've rotated sets 3 times in the past 4 years, and it's the reason I'm not playing anymore.
Oh yeah,
I don't want to play these new formats.
It can ruin your collections.
Yeah, exactly.
And you think, like, you know, you have all this stuff from OPO 1, OPO 2.
Yeah, but also, like, it just makes it really difficult sometimes to be able to play in our locals because you don't know what people are bringing. Yeah. Like, my experience is for Vanguard, it's like premium and standard. So
mean for like, so people will just come with an illegal deck because they didn't realize what format it is?
There's that, but also some people will only play standard. Some people will, like Magic, some people only play Commander.
Yeah.
If you're a standard player for MTG, how do you, like, you have to pre-plan every time. Whereas currently with One Piece, I just show up.
Yeah, you show up with
you know,
deck
and I like that.
Right? Yeah.
I like that the curve isn't, oh, by the way, there's multiple different formats, and some of your older cards that you might find online, even though they look cool, you can't actually play it in the new cool stuff. Or, like, even though there's this collection that's came out, you can actually, like Speed Duels for Yu-Gi-Oh! You actually can't play that in the, I know you probably wouldn't anyway, but like, you actually can't play that.
Yeah, I know what you mean, you actually can't. Yeah, this
So
thing that, like, you're a new player and you go to a shop and you see like a nice little box for 20 quid and you want to buy that because I'm interested in this game, and then someone turns around and says, you can't use that. Like, and then you go, well, what do I do? And
I
you
think
go,
that just,
tough luck, kid.
You go, you spent £300 on this meta deck.
Yeah.
Oh, not for Yu-Gi-Oh! You spent £3,000 on this meta deck.
Yeah, and you can't use it.
Tough
luck, kid.
Tough luck, kiddo. Here's a sleeve. Should we get on to our last point?
Yeah, because this is a fun one that we've been bouncing around for a while. Like, ever since you've started playing One Piece, because I know I've thought about it since the inception of the game.
Yeah. Don.
Yeah, Don.
It's Don.
It's Don.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
a
that
One
makes
Piece
sense.
thing. Yeah.
Oh no, I was just trying to be dramatic.
Yeah.
I think it was cool.
Speaking of cool, what's cool about Dons? What do you like about Don?
Shiny auntie.
What do you like about Don mechanically?
Don mechanically. That's it. No, that's it. You're just trying to catch me thoughts right now.
Yeah.
No, I think it would be really cool if in the future we start to get different effects for Don. Right now, the only Don we have in the game are plus 1,000.
Yeah.
When you attach this Don to something, you give something 1,000. I would love to see 1-offs, 2-offs in the Don deck where you're able to have that customization to put cards in that say things like, when you attach this, the character gets the ability to on KO draw 1 card. When you attach this,
the character becomes a blocker.
Yeah. Like Digimon. Digimon has that where like you have like, when you digivolve over something, you gain the ability of unbelief. But with the additional effect of there's the trade out then of you don't get the 1,000 when you attach it.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's how they would balance it. Is that yes, you're able to generically give things blocker, and we might see more decks because of things like that
That's where I think it excites me, because there are lots of decks in the game where you go, this is really cool, but it misses something.
Yeah.
And then if you could play a Don deck of, I don't know, just pulling an idea out the top of my head, like increase a card's cost by 2 instead of plus 1,000. You'd be like, well, actually, that black Luffy time skip deck looks really good now with this Don deck, and that adds to this. That adds to that unknown idea. When you sit across someone at a table and you see their leader, you now currently in the game, with very few exceptions, you know what type of deck they're playing. You know what their strategy is going to be. But if you didn't know what their Don deck was, that would be really exciting. Like if you didn't know if their Don deck was going to be a power, an advantage, like.
Sorry, it's been a long day, man.
It's been a long day.
But no, I think that would be just really, really cool, especially because we have a lot of decks right now that don't necessarily gain a bunch of value from being able to give things power. I think generically it's quite good, but you mentioned like purple earlier when we were talking.
They're just huge. They're just huge already. Like,
exactly. Imagine if half your Don deck said, give blocker. So all of your characters had blocker. Given 5-cost Magellan, blocker.
Or I think you said like I'm thinking a Pokemon TCG example, like a double colorless.
Yeah.
So if you had a Don that says this Don is 2 Don.
Yeah, but it has no power.
Yeah.
So you can tap it for 2 Don.
And maybe you can only play like 1 or 2 in the entire Don deck.
And they could do it by saying like this Don cannot leave the Don zone, so you can't attach it to stuff. Do you know, to like balance it, like little ideas where it's like, yes, this provides 2 Don worth of cost of value. However, you can never attach this.
Yeah, so you can never get like a Don X1 ability.
Exactly.
Off. Yeah.
That's exactly where my mind is for it. Because then, like, think of purple. How great would that would be with purple with rampant? Yeah. You flip your Don. You go, oh, get in. I've got me 1 of 2 cost.
And you just kind of talked about an idea. How would we do this then? Would we have people organize their Don deck, or would we have to shuffle our Don deck? Would the Don deck become randomized?
Actually, in the rules, it states that at the start of every single game, you must shuffle your Don deck.
There you go then.
So that's why I actually do think in the future,
if one day it will happen.
One day we will
heard it
have
here first.
A reason to need that.
Yeah.
Because currently all 10 Don are exactly the same. There is zero reason for them to have that in the rules where it says you should shuffle your 10 Don. There is no reason at all for that, because you should already check that you have 10 Don before the start of a game anyway. Yeah. So unless there's something in the future that is going to change the way that your Don is set up, the reason that they would need to be randomized.
And that would make curves more flexible in gameplay, right? That would, because as you say, you like flip over your 2 Don, you flip over 2 more, you have 4 Don, you go, wow, I've got a blocker Don here, so I can actually play, like I'm thinking like black now, I'm thinking my deck, I've got 4 Don, I play a Kuzan. And then next turn I can give the Kuzan blocker. Yeah. And that's really cool. I drew a card. I can either reduce with it if I need to, or I can just make this a 5k blocker. Yeah.
Well, I think of even other things like Don that, not necessarily ramp in general, but imagine if blue-purple Crocodile had access to a Don that said this Don can be tapped as 2 Don for events.
Yeah.
So you can only have 1 Don up, but you can use your 2-cost events for your 1 Don, and it stops some of the pain of having to like rely on those all of the time. And that's what I'm saying about the creative aspect of it, is you get all these other things. But then we can talk about how green has like Hody Jones, which allows you to tap your opponent's Don. So there's more counterplay that comes into there.
Yeah, exactly. So then it's like you're looking, your opponent has 3 different Don and you drop your Hody Jones, or even is it the Mink stuff? The Mink stuff.
There's more stuff that tops Don. Yeah,
so it's like you play it down, you're looking at it and you go, what would hurt me the most here? So I'll tap this Don. And as you say, instead of just being like, I'll tap that Don because it's an energy, it's a land. Yeah,
and we can see even more with purple. Currently, I mentioned 5-cost Magellan being able to, your opponent chooses a Don to return. We might get more purple cards in the future that say select one of your opponent's Don, return it to the Don deck. So you can really shut your opponent down of views and stuff like that.
Instead of taking away a land, you take away like a blocker or a draw from them.
Or 2 Dons worth of value or something like that. And again, I think this all comes back to what we were saying about deck building and wanting more customization aspects to it, instead of right now it being, Whitebeard just did a top in the US, I'm going to go watch, and now I'm going to have to put 48 of those cards as my main list anyway. They used 2 Robin, Do you know what I mean? That's the only differential. This new Moria list just topped, oh, okay, they ran 3 Sindri instead of 4, and they put an extra Kuzan in, you know? And like, I still get excited about that because I'm a nerd, and I like to see the tiny differences that people use, but I would love it.
But you get more excited when you see the big differences.
I would love to
You
see
get more
the
excited
big
when you
differences.
see someone playing, I'm playing 3 Marineford and no reduction events in Sakazuki.
God,
and everyone loses
remember that?
their mind.
Everyone lost, that's a great example of stage Saka.
Yeah.
Like, when that came out, when Giovanni won the Krefeld regional with it, and everyone was like, what the heck is Marineford? This is nice, and we haven't had a lot
we'd
of
seen
that.
it. We'd seen it as a bad one-off in
Exactly,
OPO5,
exactly.
and then they went, no, this is how we reduce things.
And then it's just become the norm,
It has,
right?
yeah.
And then we see some forms of variation where sometimes we see event Saka, sometimes we see stage Saka, and then we can start to have discussions on which one's better in each format, and that's what I miss a little bit about card games, is being able to have those where we go, oh, well, it's been very triangle-y right now, where Moria beats Katakuri beats Saka. Maybe it doesn't, but I'm just saying it's like this beats this, this beats this, this beats this. I would like it to just more be an absolute cluster jumble, you know, where you've got to really think.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But I do like the idea of having tiers and formats.
Yeah.
Because when you go to an event, you need to know.
Oh no, of course.
What am I gonna play? You know,
But I like that things can sideswipe you.
Oh, I love that things can, like Samurai Perona.
Yeah, I've just lost to it. Like, Joe came in before when we were setting up for all of this, and I was playing Bonnie, and he just looked at me, and I went, my opponent has 14 cards in their hand.
Yeah.
I have been, you can be my samurai 4 times. I don't feel good,
Like,
and I don't run Perona because I'm green.
That's the kind of creativity that I'm looking forward to in the game as more cards come out.
Yeah.
Like, but weird and interesting Don effects would definitely add to that more.
Yeah, big time. Cool.
Yeah, is there anything else that you want to say?
No, I'm just excited. Love One Piece
I'm
in
excited, yeah. And I think the next time that we see everyone will be at the UK Games Expo in Birmingham. So we're going to do like a few things down there. If you're fans and you see us, come and say hello.
Yeah.
Say hello to him, don't say hello to me, I'll just ignore you.
We will. He's nasty.
And maybe you'll see Sir Tomley Underboots on the floor interviewing people.
He's double handsome.
He's the most handsome.
Thank you very much
That's
for
why we
watching.
keep him away from the cameras, because he's that handsome.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah.
Easy. Thank you very much for watching the
you for
Two
watching.
Dons podcast. And now Joseph is going to crack this, and I'm going to mug him as he walks outside. Have a nice day, and peace.
Bye-bye.